The Super Bowl is fake. It's 100% fake. Taylor Swift is fake. The NFL is fake. Politics is fake. Life is fake. Death is fake. Reality is fake. We'll get into that in a moment. This is the beginning of a series because we're hearing about fake and misrepresentation and misinformation and disinformation and bad information. We're talking a lot about what is and isn't real. And this can get pretty weedy, you know what I mean? We get into the weeds of it and the idea of what is not real and what isn't. Now, a couple of things. First of all, you got to understand, you have to have something real before it's fake. For example, if I said to you that you have a fake counterfeit bill, that doesn't make any sense because you have a fake thing. So if a fake thing is fake, does that mean it's real? Does it negate each other? Remember the old joke, here's a drunk and an earthquake. You know, that kind of a thing. Does one negate the other? What people really mean is something fake, meaning is it fixed? And this is another gradation. Is the Super Bowl fixed? Is it predetermined? Now, the question you have to ask is, before you get to this, ask yourself this question. If it was predetermined, would you be able to determine that it was predetermined? Would the people on the playing field know, wait a minute, something's going on. This referee just called a touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. And if something were to take place at that level, could it be suppressed? Could it be brought to a level that would be somehow, I guess, covered up, or that it would be so compartmentalized that it couldn't get out, where people would say, I'm not really sure. So the first thing you have to ask is, could you pull this off in the first place? For example, when they talk about President Trump and the fact that he says that the 2020 election was fixed, the question you must understand is it possible to fix an election in the first place? Is it even possible? If the answer to that is no, don't bother with step number 2. So the question is, you have to ask, is it possible to fix, to predetermine either the winner or the particular win-loss margin of the Super Bowl? Is that possible? If it's not possible, the answer is forget it. There are people who believe that we never landed on the moon, that no human being ever landed on the moon. So before we get to whether you think that's true, you got to ask the question, would that even be possible? Could you have a situation in which something which is forever heralded as this monumental moment of human success and accomplishment, could something of that nature ever be fixed? Could our enemies, could Vladimir Putin, certainly not a friend of ours right now, and vice versa? Gee, I wonder why. But in any event, do you think that with all of his scientists and his, not only him, but the Indians and Asians and Chinese and French, that other physicists and astrophysicists and those who were cosmologists and rocket propulsion engineers, do you think some of them could figure out, this is nonsense, that never happened? How did they pull this off? And meaning it was evident enough, and if it was evident enough where they recognized the fact that it was in fact fake, could they then use it against us as some kind of leverage? You see, the thing that you got to remember is that whenever you have something that's fake, something that's synthetic, something that's ersatz, something that's a work, as we say in professional wrestling, all of these things have to be taken into effect, that you must recognize something very, very, very simple, and that is that the people who are going to leverage that information become a subsidiary problem other than the falsified and manufactured results in the first place. Now, the NFL is and by the way, all sports to begin with serve purposes that have nothing to do with the sheer competition. Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra, No, John Facenda and Y.A. Tittle and Babe Ruth. No, no, no. This is bred in circuses. This is an implementation of distortion, distraction, and diversion that Juvenal, the Roman poet, came up with the notion of that in order to placate and keep people happy with their tribalism, with their it's the rearranging the deck chairs, to have them think that a stupid game which is going to do nothing but scramble the brains of the opponents or practitioners, that is going to you're going to see CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, you're going to see tau proteins, you're going to see more people who have absolutely possibility. These people who have basically had their brains scrambled. Remember, with the brains, if you shake it, you break it. It's that simple. But these individuals are one day, because they're larger, bigger, faster, the collisions are greater. And I love the fact when they say, well, our helmets are better. CTE is not about the helmet. It's about torsion flexion and this traumatic whiplash, this rattling of your noggin. That's what it's about, not your skull being crushed. But of course, those particular people who are watching it, they have no idea, because whatever. Look at what boxing did. Boxing, at one particular time, used to be. They had the Harvard, the boxing champ. You don't see too many. I think Gene Tunney was the last, quote, intellectual. You don't see too many people walking around now who claim to enjoy the degree of arts that involve cerebration and mental acuity. You don't see them going out there and clobbering each other. So it went from kind of an upper scale, kind of a white dude thing, to black, Latino, people that are, dare I say, not my words, reality, culturally expendable. So that's why a lot of these people, they're walking around seeing Muhammad Ali and others. Well, that's what you're going to see when it comes to football. Believe me. And it's going to be a swath. It's going to be, you do realize that very, very soon, huge contingents, huge patterns, passels of American rock royalty are all going to drop dead by virtue of their age and senescence and antiquity. But that's for another story. The Super Bowl is fake. NFL is fake. It's exaggerated. It is nothing but, it is used to promote propaganda with flyovers and militaristic, and it goes into tribalism. And you look at it, has fake players with fake steroids and fake. It has nothing to do with necessarily, okay, the score is going to be 24-12, and this is what we're going to find out immediately. So remember, dude, it's not like the 1919, the Black Sox scandal, the Shoeless Joe Jackson. It's not necessarily that, but it is fake. It doesn't exist. It's exaggerated. It's a work. The whole thing is. And how people are brought forward. And it's a day of crime and criminal trafficking. You have people brought in, prostitutes, children, slavery from all over the world. People that come out of nowhere. People who are absolutely, positively involved in this form of ceremony. So the answer is yes, it is fake. 100%. What do you think? Subscribe to the channel and comment as you see fit.